to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
me, Rob. Let's talk about how Robbie is winning this week again.
By 1 point. My God. What do you imagine if you actually win?
Probably we also me last week, so.
This is nothing like last week. Okay, let's not get all cocky here.
I
still think we'll tie this week. But we'll see. We'll go over that in a minute here. So,
yeah,
guys, it feels a little weird, but we're coming here on a Sunday with no game. No game yet, guys. It's crazy. It feels weird. Like, we're going to be on tomorrow night. It's Monday Night Football. Giants, Steelers in the battle that no one asked for and no one wanted. I'm a little shocked, to be honest, that the NFL hasn't figured a way to like change out the games like they did for Sunday night in this scenario. Because, like, let's be honest here, guys. Giant fans want to watch because we're Giant fans. Steelers fans want to watch because they're Steeler fans. Nobody else wants to watch this.
I mean, the problem is, like, if you have a Sunday night football game scheduled, you could be like, hey, listen, guys, you're going to play 4 hours earlier than your original.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's cool. But to say you're going to play 28 hours earlier.
You could change it weeks ago. You could have changed it weeks ago.
I understand what you're saying, but no one projected. Like,
it's like, when they have like really, really bad Thursday night football games and we're forced to watch it because it's the only football that's on. Like, that's what I feel like this scenario is for the rest of the country. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody.
Well, CBS made their money.
Yeah.
Whoever. Who does
all right.
Well, yeah.
Let's go ahead and get right into it with the injury report here for the upcoming game here, because, guys, there's still some big names in that report we got to talk about. So we're going to get right into it here. So let's get into who we have as far as the Giants first. We'll go over the Steelers second. At least the Giants can win something in this.
Wow.
The positivity. So Jamie Gillan, the punter, will be out again with his left hamstring injury. I still find it funny they have to point out which one it is. They're still doing it. Like, what have you ever seen in an injury report? I'm sorry. You're going to find there's a whole theme of like half the Steelers roster, it feels like, has hamstring issues. Yet the only one who had it pointed out which hamstring it is Jamie Gillan, the punter there. So,
I mean, to the point, it does make sense because, if you're a kicker, granted, like, when you run the ball, like, obviously both hamstrings are very effective at running the ball. But, like, when you kick, there's a difference of how you kick the ball with.
I get it. I'm just saying it's just.
But weird. It's also weird because, like, it doesn't matter if it's a left or right because, like,
he's out either way.
Hyperextended in one or you plant it on the other. Like, you kind of need both of those guys to kick the ball.
Like they're giving a target. They're giving a target when he gets back. It's just the left one. That's the one you attack. Attack the left leg. Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg.
Coach, I don't want to sweep the leg. I don't want to sweep the leg.
Wax off. So yeah, guys, we got Adoree Jackson once again on the injury report. Again, we talked about this last time. This is why the Giants didn't want to pick him up again. Besides the fact that effort issues, which apparently become contagious now for Deonte Banks. It's been the fact that he never is healthy. So neck injury, he's out as well. Linebacker, we surely call him the special teamer. Ty Summers also out with an ankle injury as well. So we got 3 people out. The questionables. Oh yes, we got the questionables, and the Jermaine Eluemunor is the big one, guys. Right tackle. You could easily make the claim that he might be the best offensive lineman we have at this point now, with Andrew Thomas being out. And he said point blank he's going to go. So obviously he doesn't get to fully make the call. That's a joint decision between him and the Giants and medical staff and all. But he's saying point blank he's going to play. Tre Hawkins also ankle injury. He's also questionable. Now, there's a good amount of secondary we got potentially not playing this game here. So this is a chance for him because he's been one of those guys that have been a healthy scratch for the game. This is one of the guys that actually has a chance to actually do something in a game and maybe earn some playing time if he's able to play, depending. Again, Adoree Jackson's out. We're going to go for another corner. That's doubtful in a second here as well. So doubtful means probably not going to play. So you got potentially 2 corners out. So Tre Hawkins actually has a chance to do something to prove he deserves more time if he's able to play. The first one up is that second corner. Cor'Dale Flott, groin injury there. That's the whole list. I don't know why I said the list.
Yeah.
List.
Yay.
So, guys, that's not too bad for us, especially, basically the halfway point almost in the year, basically. That's not too bad. There's a lot of guys, though, that statuses are not announced on yet. And that's the more ambiguous nature of these lists here. So the big one is Sexy Dexy, nose tackle Dexter Lawrence, got the hip injury. He was limited at practice on Friday. I fully expect him to play.
He's playing.
Yeah. Edge outside linebacker Brian Burns, both a groin and an Achilles injury. He's limited to practice on Friday. He's another one that I fully expect to play at that point. Wide receiver Bryce Ford-Wheaton, Achilles injury. He was a full participant on practice on Friday. So, again, I fully anticipate he will play.
I fully anticipate he'll be on special teams.
And that's it. Exactly. Wide receiver Jalin Hurts, the rib injury. We expected him to miss some time with that rib injury, but he was a full participant on Friday there. So maybe he is going to play after all, it seems. But I can tell you that no matter whether he plays or not, he'll have the same stat line 0, 0, and 0.
I was about to say he may be active for the game, but he still may put up a goose egg.
Active at the game, not active at the stat sheet.
Yes, exactly.
Safety Dane Belton with a calf injury, limited participant on Friday. So we'll have to see if he plays. Lineman Jake Kubis is that's the undrafted rookie free agent that we've had on the active roster but haven't played. This is a guy that the Giants are expecting some, potential for him to be a contributor down the line, but they've been kind of stashing him away on the active roster, but not activating him during the games. That way you keep him from the practice squad so people can't pluck him. But you don't have to actually put him out there and expose him at that point if he's not ready yet. So this is a project guy that they obviously feel pretty high on. So we'll have to see what happens there. The Steelers injuries, they got more than us.
Guys, get the popcorn out because
that's our second win the Giants have in this segment. We got to go first, and we have less injuries.
Get the popcorn because we're going to be here for a little bit.
Yeah, might as well get the spiral ham for all the hamstrings going on here. That's for sure.
Dad, you'll kill me.
Wide receiver Roman Wilson, hamstring injury. Oh, he played 5 snaps on offense all year long. He's the rookie from Michigan. You guys remember him? Draft time was a lot of topic about him. Really, really tiny receiver. So again, not shocked he's already hurt. You got linebacker, and this is going to be a good one. Rob, you want to go for this one?
Oh, Drew, man, you already started the conversation, man.
Okay. Matakovich, hamstring injury as well. He's in the 21-day window to come off the IR. He's a special teamer. Linebacker Nick Herbig, another hamstring injury as well, another special teamer. Center Zach Frazier, he's the starting center. He's the guy who was the rookie from West Virginia University. There was big time talk also during the draft. Now, nice thing is, guys, this one's not a hamstring issue. It's a ankle injury. But then, just when you think the Steelers are done with the hamstring injuries, offensive lineman.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Hamstring injury, also in the 21-day window to come off the IR, and he has yet to play all season long. Running back / kick returner / whatever you want to call him, because he's the guy that plays wherever the hell he wants. Cordell Patterson, who's been in the league now, it's like 11, 12 years. Like, it's insane.
It feels like 25.
Yeah, so he's basically been a backup running back for them, though. Hasn't even returned a kick all year long, but he's known for much of his career as primarily a kick returner until all of a sudden the Falcons figured out a way to actually use him on offense. Questionable for the game. Justin Fields got added late to the questionable status there as the backup quarterback in this game there. So unless Russell Wilson gets hurt, it's not that big a deal. But guess what injury he has? A hamstring injury. That's insanity, guys. That's 5 people with hamstring injuries that are out or questionable. That's almost 10% of their roster. They have one more guy. They're over 10%.
Yeah, I also feel like when it comes to just feel like he's constantly running for his life or running the ball, so he's constantly using his hamstring. So it's very easy to say like, oh, my legs are sore.
His ham's overcooked.
Yeah, overcooked that ham. Let the guy rest a little bit. He's sitting behind, Russell Wilson anyway. So,
all right, now guys who statuses are not yet announced. You got DeMonte Kazee, the safety, who's mostly a special teamer, has played about a quarter of the defensive snaps, or 22% to be exact. So more of a nickel dime package kind of guy. Another safety, Deshaun Elliott, who's a starter with 51 tackles on the year so far. So that's a big time contributor. They're going to be out for this matchup potentially here. Dante Jackson, one of the starting corners, shoulder injury, another starter with 20 tackles on the year. Keanu Benton, the defensive tackle, ankle injury, started 5 out of 7 games. And tight end Michael Pruitt, who's got a knee injury there. He's played about half the offensive snaps so far this season there. At least in the games he has played. He's only played in 3 games this year. So yeah, guys, I feel like we're actually in a not so bad position here, really, as weird as it sounds. Like the punter's out. The punter's been out for a couple weeks now. Again, we like Gillan, but punter's not going to make or break a season unless he keeps on effing up, basically.
Well, I mean, you felt like that 2 years ago. But
I did. Gillan kept on making mistakes. But he's gotten good now. I like him. And now I like him. Adoree Jackson, we're used to him being injured. Ty Summer, special teamer. Again, not going to make or break anything there at that point. We do have Matthew Adams back as well, for the last week or two. So we already got strengthened a little bit. So we get a little bit weakened. It's not the worst thing in the world. The big one is Jermaine Eluemunor. As far as the questionables, we need him. Definitely need him, especially with Andrew Thomas being out. We still got to find who's going to play in the left side at the tackle position. They haven't announced anything yet. Again, Josh Azudu, Chris Hubbard, those two have been working out at the left tackle position. So we'll find out what happens there. Again, Tre Hawkins, this is more of a chance for him, with everything going on with Cor'Dale Flott being out potentially, and also Adoree Jackson definitely being out. As far as the status is not announced, they don't know yet. But usually when you don't announce the status, that means they're probably going to play, especially when we're talking 24 hours before a game. Yeah. Now, the Steelers side, though, guys, if you go by their questionable, they literally could have half their starting secondary out and one of the starting defensive tackles. That's 3 starters potentially out on this defense. That is very good news, Giants fans, because this defense is so much better than our offense. It's not even funny. It might as well be the Pittsburgh Steelers playing against the Little Giants. It might as well. And Becky Icebox on IR.
Listen, in defense of both teams, we kind of look like the Steelers of last year. And a net offense, great defense. Went 500. Actually, you know what? We may not look like the Steelers of last year. They still went 500.
Steelers won a lot more than us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And their defense is definitely hands down better than our defense. I'm sorry. It is.
I would say hands down.
Listen, you know me. All I care about is one thing and one thing only when it comes to defense. How many points are you giving up? That's all. No, how many points are you giving up? That's all I care about. That is all that matters. So the Giants are giving up 21.3 points a game, which is 12th best in the league. Again, better than average. I'm not complaining about this defense whatsoever. All my issues are on the offensive side right now. But you're still talking the Steelers, what we had the stat of was like 14 points a game they're giving up.
Yeah. So do me a favor. Since we're talking about this right now and we're live, so let's just do a self check right now. Where's the Steelers ranked on defense this year?
For what's that?
Just overall.
You got to give me a stat
point wise.
Okay, they're second at 14.4.
Last year, where were they at?
I'd have to look that up.
That's exactly what I asked you to do.
I thought you said this year.
Well, yeah, because obviously we're going to talk about comparison because I just said
Steelers were second last year at 14.4 points per game.
Oh, God damn.
Oh, hold on.
Damn.
This is still this year. I was gonna say it's weird to have the same exact ranking. They were 8th at 19.7. By the way, the Giants were 26 at 23.9. So Giants have improved on defense. Everybody all worried, oh no, Wink's gone. What are we gonna do?
All
what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and be better.
Giants remind me of the last year. They got a really good defense. Not so much of a good offense. You get a little power behind that offense. Keep the defense off the field a little longer. Watch how much more the defense proves. That's kind of what's happening.
You know what? I'm gonna reverse this right now, and I'm gonna see what happens to least points per game last year. If StatMuse will let me do it because they want me to sign up, of course, for things. And I'm not doing it.
Jerk.
I'm not doing it. I can't blame them on getting paid, but let's see. The Steelers were 5th at 17.9 last year. So, yeah, that's not great. But I mean, I do believe the Giants will be worse. Yes, the Giants are second worst at 14.1 this year. So, we're kind of like the wish version, if you want to say, of last year's Steelers, because our defense is not as good and our offense is even worse. If you want to use the analogy like that, I'll give it that way to you. The Temu version. That's where we're at.
Thank you for going to current terms, because when you said wish, I was like, God, dude, that's 2015.
I'm old. Leave me alone. I'm old.
Right.
Let's get to some of the comments here, guys, real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and pay the bills real quick, and we'll give the recap of all of the games so far here for Week 8. So, Dennis, what's up, man? Starts off with bench Banks, bench DJ, bench Dable.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, that's a lot of aggressive. I'll say this: try to fix Banks, bench DJ, and see what happens the rest of this year, Dable.
I mean, if you want to listen to Mara, who kind of put the kiss of death on Dale, yeah. Watch what happens with the rest of the year with Dale.
Well, let's see. I will see what happens there. But he says that gives us the best chance to win. Again, I don't think benching Banks gives us the best chance to win because we have such a thin secondary corner-wise. It's not even funny, I should say. Outside corners are so thin. Benching Banks is going to hurt us. Who's going to play in his spot?
Yeah,
Adoree
you're going to lose
our.
We're going to lose our number 1, who should probably be number 2, to have what, the number 3 step up to be number 1. Yeah, that's going to be great.
Let's see if I go to the depth chart here real quick. Let's pull it up here to make sure I'm not forgetting somebody here real quick. So obviously, again, you got Nick McLeod and Deontay Banks are listing as starters. Adoree Jackson out. Cor'Dale Flott is doubtful. You got Drew Phillips, unless you want to put him on the outside, which I'd be okay with potentially trying, depending on how it looks. I actually heard them mention, potentially trying to do that a little bit here. Hawkins is questionable. So where's your, who are you putting? Isaiah Simmons our second, our starting outside corner? That's the problem we're into. We need Banks right now. We just got to get him to get his head out of his gluteus maximus, to put it nicely.
Yeah, put it nicely, yeah.
Scott says, how about my KC Chiefs? How about with them? What?
What about them?
They keep on winning, but you're the best quarterback. Enjoy it while you can. Because what'll happen is one day he's going to retire, and you'll be like us.
I was about to say, they're going to look like the Patriots.
Enjoy the good times while you can. The bad times will come. The Chiefs are one of those franchises that I really don't feel like I've seen much negative on them comparatively in my lifetime. They've always been a decent team at the very least, So I actually do respect the Chiefs for that. Tim says, should the Giants name DeVito their starting quarterback over Lock for the rest of the season? No. I think DeVito should start over Lock, but I don't think you would automatically proclaim that for the rest of the season. That puts a lot of pressure on DeVito that does not need to get done. Say we'll keep it week to week and call it a day. Let's see. Brad says, "Can what is this? I'm assuming there's a symbol supposed to be there. Can we wear tomorrow night at home? Can we win? Is that the question? Of course we can. Probably won't. That's why they play the game."
And you giving Monday Night Football? Is that the same?
Dorothy says, Giants injury report equals clearly the Giants are in tank mode. I don't get that from the injury report.
Yeah.
I'm not. I feel like I'm missing something, Dorothy. Let us know if there's something we're missing in this. If they were in tank mode, they'd be sitting Eluemunor. They'd be sitting, Dexter.
The whole offensive line.
Anybody they could. They'd just be sitting if they were tanking. I mean, why would you have your best offensive lineman who is injured in the game? Why would you put your star nose tackle?
Why would you put the most sackiest defensive lineman in the game?
The guy leading the NFL, and that'd be a really dick move if they were to go to tank mode. Like, we're just not going to play Dexter Lawrence because he's injured.
Yeah.
Like he's the man's out for a Defensive Player of the Year award. That's how good his season is. So, all righty, guys, let's pay the bills real quick, and then we're gonna get into the recap of all the games so far today.
Yeah.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
All righty, guys, and that's of course Rob's lemur making a surprise appearance on the show.
By his visit, mother effers.
There he is, the lemur.
The eyes of winning.
All right, and of course, guys, you can always go ahead and also support the show on YouTube with a super chat, and of course also on Facebook by sending stars. It always sounds weird saying that. You can send us stars.
Yeah, right.
Like I like that Moby song, "We Are All Made of Stars" back in the day.
I'm a nerd.
All right.
I love the whole thing about me being made of stars and all, but that's really corny.
Wow. Okay, it happens. I'm corny. It happens. Let's get into our recap now of Week 8. Oh yes, there he is, the alien from the Flintstones in his green helmet. There, the guy.
Drew.
Yes.
Did you see the memes going around of Big Daddy with Aaron Rodgers' face dubbed over the little kid?
I did not.
He's sitting at the bar. Remember, like the scene where he's at the little kid's at the bar. He's saying, "The goddamn Jets. Just want them to win. The goddamn Jets." And it's his wife, not his girlfriend at the time when they met.
That's actually the movie the two of them met, I believe.
Yeah, it is. 100% it is. So that scene where that little kid was like, "Goddamn Jets," they pushed Aaron Rodgers' face on the little kids.
Oh God,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I really, and we'll get to the game in a second. But since you're bringing it up, I gotta wonder if these losses keep piling up for the Jets. Do they just walk away from Rodgers at the end of the year? Like, I just feel like it's like the experiment has failed. And I think a lot of it, honestly, at this point is him trying to overcome that big of an injury this late in his career. I think had he not injured last year, he probably would have been fine. Oh my God. Nope, he's going to be one more year. I'm looking over the cap. Unless he retires. Yeah. And I got to look at how things work out if he retires. But he would cost them so much money against the cap. It's not even funny. Oh my God. Absolutely ridiculous.
I was about to say it was a 4-year deal, 3-year guaranteed. Stupid amount of money.
Yeah. They gave him so much money. It's not even funny.
They better listen. This is Giants podcast. Aaron Rodgers better win them a ring next year. Otherwise, that's the biggest letdown since.
So, if they want to cut him next year, guys, his cap number is $23.5 million. That's it. Because of void years, we'll talk about in a second. If they cut him, that goes to $49 million. That's insanity.
That's it.
That's
That's it. That's it.
Now, if they cut him post June 1st, it goes down to $14 million. So I would think if he retires, hopefully he doesn't pull a Tom Brady and he retires post June 1st. Probably the best scenario for the Giants. I'm sorry, for the Jets.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got 4 years of void money on him. That's going to cost the team $63 million. They're going to be paying him to 2029 with that contract. Jeez.
Suckers.
I did not look at this contract too much when they first did it. Oh my God, this is bad, guys. That is bad. Like,
I just knew it was a lucrative contract. I didn't know how crazy it was.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's absolutely insane there, guys, because you're talking about he has already earned $36 million from them. He's going to end up earning ridiculous money, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, well, let's get into games itself. That's what we're here to talk about, not just to be jealous about Aaron Rodgers' bank account. Why? Maybe the Jets.
I wish they could make that 5 lifetimes, 10 lifetimes. Oh God!
Seriously. Well, he's going to make over $419 million, guys, into that contract. My God. Imagine making $500 million throw a ball. I'd love it. Obviously, it's more.
I want to do that through like 500 million lives.
Listen, I would take a quarter of that and be very happy. At this point, though, I might be able to play quarterback just as well as Aaron Rodgers based on the way the Jets season's going. So,
pass the ball. Right. Hand the ball.
Let's get right into it. So, first game we got is the Thursday night football game. And it looks like all of us were kind of forgetting that the Rams were actually going to be healthier than they pretty much have on offense all year long. And Nakua was back. Cooper Kupp was playing. And all of a sudden, they went cray and beat the Vikings. 30.
Well, Puka Nakua just went crazy.
Yeah, he was trying to make up for lost time, basically. So, Rob, you and I did not do very good on that one at all.
No.
Yeah, we had the Vikings winning, covering the spread, and winning and then there being under in the game. And it was instead Rams and over. So we got a goose egg on that one there.
Yeah, that was a big old.
Yeah. Good. Next up,
we got the Philadelphia playing Cincinnati Bengals. And yeah, the Eagles won 37-17 over the Bengals. And I don't have the notes in front of me. I was trying to pull them up, but I do recall Drew saying, "Hey, the Bengals."
Oh, I'll give you that. I got that up here. I got.
And I took the Eagles as much as Bird John's.
You also took the Bengals. It says right here on the pick sheet: Bengals, and under.
I'm gonna pull up the live video.
No, I'm messing. Yeah, you had the Eagles and to win overall, and you had the Eagles to go ahead and you had the over on there as well. So you got a trifecta. I got a second.
I was like, God damn, I know. You son of a gun.
Next up, we got another surprise one. At least this one was a surprise one to me as well. You have the Ravens going to Cleveland. I mean, it's a divisional matchup. We know it's what's going to happen there, but Cleveland won 29-24, guys. And I think maybe it's us not knowing the Browns well enough is part of it too, because you and I were talked about it. We were expecting Dorian Thompson-Robinson to be the starting quarterback there, because that's he got upgraded to the backup quarterback in the game. In the game prior when the misogynist massaged his way out the NFL much. Yeah, he got hurt and he's done. So but Jameis Winston comes in and Jameis Winston does Jameis Winston like things at that point. And listen, guys, this is a guy I talked about in the offseason, so the Giants should have showed some interest in, but he would have taken Daniel Jones's job, and that's why they didn't want to do it. 27 of 41 he was, 334 yards and 3 touchdowns. Keep in mind, this is a team that just traded away Amari Cooper. Like, they didn't even have their top receiver. They've already gotten rid of him.
Yeah. And I've joked around about James Winston, like being the guy that could be for the Giants, getting 7 touchdowns. Could be for Giants, could be for the team, like, and that's who he is. And he's like straight up been the best meme around the NFL. Like trying to defend Deshaun Watson in this whole scenario. But yeah, he played great, but he won the game.
Yeah, I feel like it's what if he gets the chance to start the rest of the year and he does very well, that's going to cause him to get a contract and a chance as a starter somewhere else next year. And, if that's what happens, guys, he deserves it. Point blank. He deserves a chance. By the way, Rob, I see you're on the pick sheet now. And you are not anonymous lemur like you were last one. You are anonymous jackalope this time. It's very nice.
Jackalope. Oh, I'm a jackal now. I see how it is.
Jackalope. All right.
Jackalope.
Anyway, you and I called the Ravens to win. Did not work out very well, obviously, for us. We both had the over in that, so we both get 1 point for Gryffindor that way. Next up,
the Titans go into the Lions. Well, the Lions had themselves a fest.
They're going to hear the roar.
Oh, you heard them roar. Roar. Oh, jeez. Roar. But yes, the Titans went up actually pretty fast right away, 7-0, and then there was just no looking back because the Lions by halftime was like 30-14, I think it was.
I think special teams touchdowns even. It was just crazy.
Well, special teams came in before actually like the off, but that's besides the point. Anyway, and the score was 57 Lions, 14 to the Titans, and the good old spanking. So, Drew, you and I both took the Lions, and I took the under in this game, like a buffoon. So you get the trifecta.
I did. I it's exactly what I said was going to happen too. Is I said that the Lions would score so many points they'd get the over by themselves, basically, which is what they did.
Exactly what they did. Come on, 50.
I didn't think it'd be that high, but I knew they'd get the over because they would score so many points in this Titan team. And this Titan team's starting to look bad, guys. And they've already got rid of DeAndre Hopkins now. As we lost Rob. But yeah, they already got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They have Calvin Ridley has really stepped up big time in this game here. But yeah, this Titan team is in trouble, guys, if this continues. They are in trouble if this continues. Like, this is going to be like, unless they're tanking for a quarterback, let's be honest. We'll have a student playing as one Mason Rudolph did, but I mean, we'll have to see what happens there. Next up, we got the Cardinals at the Dolphins. Tua comes back to the Dolphins, but yeah, they just couldn't hang 100%. The Cardinals just barely squeak out a win, 28-27 there. This is a game that, again, Rob and I had pretty much identical there. We actually did have it exactly identical. We said Dolphins over, and instead, obviously, it was Cardinals over. So we got just the over on that one there. So not too great a look for us on that one there. Next up, we have the Jets. We talked about this earlier. The Jets lose 25-22 to the Patriots, guys. The Patriots are beating the Jets now. That's how bad the Jets season's gotten. It's like the one thing okay with this season is, like, even as a Giant fan, it sucks, I know. Watching our team play right now is how bad they've been playing. But guys, no matter what, it could be worse. We could be the Jets. Because the Jets at least had, like, there was expectations coming into the season. We weren't sure what to think, but nobody was really high on the Giants. Like, okay, middling team, maybe, top 10 draft pick, maybe sneak into the playoffs. Like, we weren't sure where to go at that point. But the Jets, guys, people actually expected things of the Jets. That's the bad part. Like, I couldn't imagine that as being if someone who's a Jet fan, like, you're going in thinking this is going to be your year, Aaron Rodgers, let's get it going. Now they're losing to the Patriots. They've already fired their head coach. Like, things are getting bad. And like this week, even there's some hope because like okay, we got Davante Adams here now. He's practiced this week with the team. Offense is going to get things going. No, you lose to the Patriots, guys.
Well, you lose to the Patriots. Your second week, like you lose to second week with the Davante Adams. Like at this point, he's still playing street ball
because he didn't really practice last week.
Yeah, but he's still, which is leading to my point. He's still playing street ball. He's literally taking the Aaron Rodgers taking the football and going, "Hey, Davante, you go up here, hook over here, or hey, you go over here." He's playing street ball with Davante still. Aaron Rodgers also
I'll disagree slightly with you on this because Hackett is the OC, and he was in Green Bay when the two of them were together then. And again, they were together before. He knows the offense. He knows the terminology. He knows the quarterback. He's just going back.
He knows 2 of that 3. He knows 2 of the 3 is a different offense. So
still Hackett's offense.
It's still his offense, but it's still a different offense from when he was at Green Bay. Otherwise, they would be just below 500 or something.
I still think it's similar enough that they're very good. Might be some nuanced differences because there's obviously some different players.
But I understand what you're saying, and you're completely right for saying what you're saying. I'm just being a dick when how I'm saying. But
stop being a dick, damn
it. But you're right. So like, obviously, Adams knows the play calling. He knows the terminology. Like, are the plays the same as it was 5 years ago? When he was in Green Bay with everything.
It don't matter. All we need to know is 2 things: run or pass. And if it's a pass, what am I doing?
That's what I'm saying.
We need to know.
That's what I'm saying. You're part of it is you're going playing street ball with Aaron Rodgers. Hey, by the way, you are new to the team. You're going to go up here and go like this.
But they don't have to do that. He knows by listening to there because he knows the terminology. He knows, okay, I'm running a hook route in this one. Okay, I'm going 9 deep route at that point. He knows exactly. He's going and splitting the seams at that point. I'm doing a slant. He knows exactly what he's doing just based on the terminology he knows. He may not know what everybody else is doing, but that don't matter.
I mean, also every offensive coordinator changes typically how they announce plays when they change teams.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But the team won. Anyway, me and him both had the Jets here, so guys. So we thought they'd win. We thought we'd beat a divisional rival. We thought it'd be a very close game, though. So we picked the Patriots to cover the spread, which they did do because they won the game. So we got that part right there. We also had the oh, actually, I just realized, Rob, I gave you credit for one that you weren't. You did. You got the over. Okay, so you're good. You got the over. I had the under. So you got 2 points this one. I got 1 point for this one.
Hey, don't take your shit away from me.
I'm not. I was checking my math here. Okay, got to check my math, Mr. Anonymous Antelope.
I'm an antelope.
Jackalope, whatever you are. Antelopes. I don't know why Google does that. Like, let's just pick anonymous random animal. Like,
I like being a lemur.
And the funny thing is that if you look at the top corner there, it actually has a little picture of a jackalope for you as well.
All right. Anyway. So up next, we have the Falcons going into Tampa Bay, playing by Drew. These Falcons.
I was right there actually today, too. I was like a couple blocks from the stadium while the game was going on.
That was probably a really exciting, fun game to go to because, the Buccaneers were up. It was back and forth. But
everybody the creamsicle uniforms. Everybody loves the creamsicle uniforms.
Yeah, right.
Except Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans because they were horrible those years. But listen, guys. All kidding aside, that's a cool uniform. I think they should go back to that full time. I really do. I think that's a cool looking uniform.
I dig it. I like it.
Can you dig it,
sucker? Anyway, so we both think the Falcons win this game. We both think the Falcons cover the spread. So, Drew, we both get 2 points off that. But the moneymaker here is Drew takes the over. I took the under. And just barely do you squeak that out.
Half a point, was it?
Half a point. There's a couple games. I literally put up a middle finger to a game we're going to talk about later today because it was 2 minutes left. Nothing is going on. There's no reason. And I'm looking at all the 4 o'clock games. Like, yes. Yes. Yes.
Screw you. You're cool.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Drew, you took the trifecta on that. I took 2 points out of the game, and good to see you, man.
There we go. Next up, we got the Packers at the Jaguars, guys. And
that was a fun game.
You know, I think it was definitely a closer game than a lot of people expected. That's for sure. Packers win by just 3 points. Packers were a 3.5 point favorite, though. So you and I picked the Packers all around. So they did win, so we get the points there. But we did not get the over-under because the Jaguars are idiots, apparently, and had to ruin our hopes and dreams. Thank you, Per Plus Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And as far as the over-under goes, let's see. You had the over. I had the under. So you got the extra point there. So you got 2-1 win on that game there.
Up next, one of the most fun games of the week.
Yeah, always fun with these two.
I'd say of recent times, because there were many bad years of the past 2 decades, but of recent times, past 5 years is a lot of fun times when the Colts played the Texans, and the Texans hosted the Colts. The Texans were giving up 5.5 points this game, which was nuts.
Yeah.
And
Drew, our game of the week.
Yeah, we took the game of the week. Drew and I both picked the Texans to win this game, but we took the Colts to cover the spread, and the two of us took the under. And guess what happened? Trifecta. You get a trifecta.
Now, you want to hear a really scary statistic in this game? Anthony Richardson, 10 of 32 in this game.
Did he look like garbage?
That's bad, guys. That's really bad. That means the Texans probably should have lost this game if he could have completed some passes there. You know, we didn't get a chance to watch the whole game, obviously, so I'm not going to sit there and say that I did, or I can say that for a matter of fact. But I was watching on Red Zone, everything going around, and that was, it was bad. That was pretty bad. All right, next up, we got 4 o'clock starting here now. We got the Saints at the Cardinals. And, yeah, guys, this was the game that was kind of similar.
The blowout.
That would happen there, but we expected the Chargers to really do their thing. And unfortunately, they didn't fully do that as we were hoping there. Give me a sec. I got to pull up my scores here because I didn't get this one on the show notes because it ended so late. I already finished the show notes. So did I make a mistake on my list here? I might have done that.
You did.
I think I did.
Actually, as Drew pulls this up, I'm going to talk about the next game so we don't have some dead air. We're going to talk about the Bills.
Oh, no, I got it here. I was right. I'm looking at things here. No, because the Chargers won. Chargers blew them out, but you and I picked the Saints to win the spread pick, and it was a 7.5 point spread. That's why we thought that'd be pretty confident. The Chargers are a team that have struggled to score. They put up the least amount of points in all of the AFC, but that didn't seem to be a problem as much this week. They won 26-8. So yeah.
And that was also in the second half because it was 5-2 going into the half. This game, this is one of these games that was a very defensive battle going into it, and
it's like an NFL score from 1937.
Yeah.
Woof. So, yeah, we got the Chargers to win. We won that. The Saints we picked to beat the spread, and they did not do that at all. We did get the over though, so we got the points on that. So you and I both got 2 points in that game there.
Fantastic. All right, so let's go into the game. Fantastic. Let's talk about the game I was about to go into. Let's talk about the Bills going into Seattle because the Bills and everyone.
Do that for any team but the Bears.
What's that?
Why does no team do that for anybody but the Bears?
Well, I mean, I'm Seattle. I'm pretty sure they know how to say the
Seahawks.
The Seahawks.
I'm just saying,
but when you up to listen, you go to Michigan, you go to the Central, we go by the Great Lakes. Here, so here,
I'm just saying, there's a lot of thes in the NFL. I don't know why the one is the only one.
There's a lot of the, not the.
Very similar accent in Milwaukee than it is to Chicago. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong. Anyway, so
just random crap we talk about.
So let's talk about missing trifectas. Well, actually, is this?
So why are we talking about trifectas when neither one of us got it?
I was about to say missing. I said missing trifectas. Yeah, the
Oh.
Bills playing the Seahawks. We both took the Bills to win. Both took the Bills to cover the spread, and over under was 47 points. And the Bills they had a vendetta to put that score up themselves, but they couldn't quite do it, and they just missed giving Drew and I the trifecta here.
They did, and I'm going to say this: the Seahawks didn't do their part to get us our victory.
No,
goddamn Eugeno Smith.
One touchdown. That's all you had to do, bud.
Yeah,
one touchdown. You couldn't do it.
Could have been a contender.
We could have won more points. Not that I bet this week, but
yeah.
God.
So next up, we have the Broncos and the Panthers. Broncos won 28-14. We had the return of Bryce Young off the bench there. He went 24 of 37, 224 with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. But again, the big thing is only 14 points, which is not so good, guys. Bo Nix continued his lately 3 touchdowns on this game.
And that last touchdown that he got was within the last 2.5 minutes of the game. So it was
garbage. This game was over at halftime because they were up 21-7. The Broncos were, and let's be honest.
I looked at this game, sitting up for the podcast, and saw that last touchdown. Went, damn! I picked the under. You son of a gun! I lost by half a point.
Damn straight! I got my over.
I literally looked at that. Went half a point. You sons of guns. Missed the field goal. Missed the field goal. Missed the field goal. Missed the field goal.
And nope, they got the extra point.
Yeah.
How to do it. So yeah, we both had Broncos to win, Broncos to cover the spread, which they did. But yeah, like you said, I had the over, you had the under because of that garbage time touchdown. I won, which gets me also the trifecta.
You son of a gun. Well, next
week for trifectas for me, really, honestly. That's what saved me this week so far. You were right on more games than I was, but because I had more trifectas, that's what my saving grace was.
Yeah. No, I mean, thus far you have 5 trifectas, like at the end of the week. So, like, not spoil what's coming up next, but
whoop whoop.
That's a pretty solid week. You're talking about like 40% of your picks were trifectas.
That's 31.25.
Or you could just actually look at the stats.
Only they were on like a spreadsheet that was in front of us at all times during this episode.
So now, looking down and reading it off.
We still have 2 more games to play, and that's already included as if I don't get those correct. So, that's worst case scenario for me at that point.
Yeah. So, I mean, up next, we had the Chiefs going to Vegas playing the Raiders. The Raiders. Drew and I both picked the Chiefs, which obviously won. And we also said 9.5 points is just too much to give up in a divisional rival. And guess what, Drew? We were both right.
We were both right.
Too close of a game. And 41.5 points. We were like, what? These 2 teams can't score 42 points apiece? Or, together? That's insanity. So we took the over. Trifectas.
Here we go. Now, the next game, a game that we did not do so good on. This is the Commanders having the Bears visit. And this was the battle of Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. Now, going into the game, and this is partially the problem with doing the picks early like we do, we thought, as most people thought, that Jaden Daniels would not be playing in the game. Well, guess what? Jaden Daniels said, Marcus Mariota, you sit in that goddamn bench and you like it. He came right in that game and played. And, of course, had we known that, we would have probably, neither one of us would have picked the Bears to win. But that's what happened. So Jaden Daniels comes in, plays the whole game. The Commanders end up winning in a very late, field goal
style.
Yeah. So they ended up.
The Commanders went in the lead most of that game, just by field goals, and it was a very,
I should even say field goal. I'm sorry, I misspoke a minute ago. It was a late touchdown that they threw. Jaden Daniels to Noah Brown for 52 yards with no time left to win the game. And that's right after there was a touchdown with 25 seconds left to put the Bears up. So this was a very exciting end to the game. Like really, if you just watch the last 30 seconds of the game,
yeah,
that's pretty much all you need to watch apparently. But yeah, that's an exciting end of the game.
Yeah, good fun.
Now, should also point out Caleb Williams, only 10 of 24, 131 yards. Just saying, maybe Rob and I were right. Maybe.
Just maybe.
Just maybe. Jay Daniels, we said was to be the best quarterback in this draft class. Who was? Jaden Daniels. Anyway. I got to point that out each time things happen because it doesn't get talked about enough. But let's see here. So again, we had the Bears to win. We had the Bears to cover. Let's see. I had the over, which did not happen. You had the under. So you got the 1 point in this whole matchup there, and that's all. Now, we got 2 more games, guys, to go. But as we're recording this, we don't know who's going to win, guys. We don't. Now, we got about 2 minutes. Less than a minute, 16 seconds now. First quarter is about to end. The 49ers are up 3-0. So we'll have to find out what happens with that game there. The Giants and Steelers, guys, this is going to determine which one of us wins this week overall, because as of right now, Rob is up by 1 point. The only difference that Rob and I have left in these 2 games is he thinks the Giants will beat the spread, whereas I think the Steelers will cover the 6 points, no problem at all.
Giants fans, unite. Let's go.
If he's right, which I'll be very happy if he is, only if the Giants win. But that'll put him up by 2 points. If I win and I'm right, the Giants suck this week, well, then we'll be tied back up this week, and I'll keep my 1 point lead that I have on the season, guys. This Giants-Steelers game will decide who is up going into next week. All the marbles on this one game, guys. So
Steelers win, Giants cover. Let's go.
All righty, guys. Now, if you haven't already, guys, if you really want all the latest, greatest Giants news, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit the share, tell a friend about the show. Again, we suck at marketing. We count on you guys to help us out with that. We will be, of course, live tomorrow as well. We got all the game coverage coming your way at that point there. So, hey, Rob, did you want to, we haven't discussed this yet because you and I have been so busy this week. Do you want to do the play-by-play this week? We're discussing it live on the air, guys. This is how the thought process
works. Oh, jeez. I have to go through my work schedule. I could definitely do second half live.
Okay, there we go. No,
I could definitely do second half live.
I'll say it this way then. I will be on. Rob will be on at least the second half. We'll do play-by-play the whole game then. At some with half the goofballs, all the goofballs the second half. So it's kind of fitting. We'll have one first half, 1 goofball, second half, 2 goofballs. And then, of course, we'll have the live post-game coverage right afterwards, guys. So, listen, if you're like most people and you hate listening to the announcers on TV, just mute the TV, have us playing in the background, you're good to go. Look at that. Problem solved.
You have a goofiest of the goofiest.
Now, we're no Manning cast, but you have to actually have, ESPN coverage at that point to get that. And who the hell pays for cable anymore? No one pays for cable.
Right? God.
So, guys, we'll be, like I said, we'll be live throughout the entire game then in that case there, as well as also the post-game coverage as well. So, now the game starts at, let's see here. Let's see. What time is the game start?
8:20.
8:15 it starts. So we'll start off 8 o'clock at that point there. So we'll see when Rob's able to.
Drew will start off at 8 o'clock.
I will start.
I cannot promise.
You'll be there in spirit, okay?
I will be. If I'm driving on 195, I'll be like, Drew.
My new guest host, Scully.
Coming live.
Agent Scully, everybody.
Live from Essex County.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll start our play-by-play coverage. Literally, the second the game is over, we're going to hop right on to a second episode with our post-game coverage there. So, again, appreciate you guys for listening in as always. We are always live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and, of course, Rob's favorite,
Like that. Oh, jeez. Oh.
And of course, as always, we are available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms. Usually lands around 5 a.m. On Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. Now, I gotta say, real quick here, let me load this up because I almost forgot to list. This is how much of a goofball I am at that point. We did get some fan mail. So I want to go ahead and give that person a shout out real quick there. Now, it did not give me a name, but this is something you can do if you're an audio podcast listeners. And listen, we do a lot with the interaction with the people that do the the live videos with us at that point there. And I always feel bad that if you're on audio, you don't have that option. But you do have the option of sending fan mail. So here's I wish I had the name of the person. They just said Denver, Colorado. So if you're the person from Denver, Colorado, thank you very much. They even gave us some critique, by the way. So I'll take it. Listen, I'm not above that. So they said I keep repeating a phrase very often, which, let's be honest, I do repeat things all the time. So I admit it. But I'll give you the quick short version at that point of what they said. They said, found your show about 3 months ago. I'm Brooklyn born and Jersey raised, and my dad brought me up to be a Giants fan. Though I'm in Denver now, I'm a lifelong Giants fan. You may be tied now with The Insider as my favorite podcast. I'm going to buy some cups of coffee. It's important to tell you I listen on Apple Podcasts, and I've given you 5 stars and am a subscriber. If we're going to break bread at the coffee shop, I have one ask for both of you, and that's when they went in the critique there at that point. Apparently, I said there a lot. So I'll keep the critique between us and us three at that point there. But apparently I say there a lot. So I apologize if I do. Definitely not something I try to do when you're live. When you're live, things happen. So, but again, appreciate it. I'm glad that we got a chance to get somebody who's not necessarily on the show live with us, though, a chance to be part of the show like that there. So,
so Mr. Anonymous out there, I'm sorry that Drew says there a lot. I say a lot. So if I say too much, I apologize about that as well. But all jokes aside, thank you for listening, man. Or woman. I appreciate
person.
We appreciate individual. We appreciate. Yeah.
It's a collective group. But yeah,
your carpool going into the work, listen to us. We all appreciate
if only carpool increase the listener count, that'd be
yeah. It's right, like driving in the left lane in New Jersey Turnpike. Like, hey, 3 followers hanging to the left.
All righty, guys. Appreciate you guys listening in, watching as always, and as always, Giant fans.
Go Giants!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.